The Icons of Real Estate Podcast. Are you ready to learn the proven money-making secrets from top-producing icon agents? Ready to skyrocket your business? This podcast is for you. Tune in every week and find out how to implement proven strategies to 10 times your business. From $3 million to $30 million in just 12 months. Brought to you by the Masters in Real Estate Marketing, Arter SEO.
Welcome to the Icons of Real Estate. I'm Tim Calloway. We have a very special guest for you today from the great state of Oregon and in and around the city of Portland, Brad Eaton with EXP. How are you, Brad?
I'm doing great. Thanks so much for having me on your show, Tim. This is truly an honor to be invited to talk and be with your guest today.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And I'm really looking forward to it. I always want to know what's, all my listeners know I'm way on the other side in Florida. And so, want to know what's going on up in the northern northwest Bigfoot country. So let's just start at the beginning, Brad. I mean, how did you get started? Were you 6 years old going, I can't wait to be a realtor?
No, that wasn't really how it all started. It probably doesn't start that way for anybody, but maybe for a few. I
was looking for the first one. That's all.
No, it's not. Bigfoot I might have up here, but the first agent that was looking to be an agent at 6 years old, that's not me. Sorry. But I don't know. It's an interesting story. My family owned a rock quarry here in the Portland area. Okay. And so we dug for aggregates, we mined, and then turned crushed gravel into subdivisions and parking lots and driveways and all of the new construction that was exploding in the early and mid 90s here in the Portland area. And that's how I started. I started with great parents that taught a great work ethic. And we, as kids and family members, if it had a diesel engine and it used hydraulic oil, we knew how to run it. And we were expected to, work really long days. And from there, it just kind of grew. I did every job that any one of the employees was asked to do. I did it myself. And I grew and learned what leadership looked like, and learned what it meant to, that our employees were not necessarily my employees, they were my peers, but I needed to, if I was going to be in a leadership position, I needed to lead from the front and be willing to do things that I was asking other people to do. And so my dad passed away in 2002, and my mom ran the rock quarry by herself as a woman running a rock quarry, and definitely a male-dominated industry. Sure. It's very, very competitive, and she ran a very successful business doing that. And so the things I learned from her doing that, and then opportunities is I stepped into running all of the operations at the rock quarry outside of the office, as a young person, leading my peers, and my colleagues, and my employees, leading them in a direction of success, and leading them in a changing industry, because the industry was changing dramatically and technology was changing so quickly. It's like we had to make some changes. And trying to teach an old dog new tricks is hard, especially when they're 50 and 60 years old, and the guy who's the operations manager is their peer, but not in age. Wow. So I'm 25 years old, 27 years old, and I'm leading a group of ladies and gentlemen who are, 50 and 60 years old. And I'm saying the way that we're doing it's not the right way. We need to change this. And there was a lot of conflict there. Yeah. And in that time, I saw that the industry was changing, and I'm like, I need to start using my head, not my back. Yeah. And so I started transitioning out. I transitioned into real estate. I actually, ironically, went to school to be a commercial airline pilot. Oh. I've got 1,200 hours in commercial licenses and everything else. But Horizon Airlines, I'm name dropping, a local regional airline here. Yeah. They offered me a grand total of $28,000 a year to fly an airplane, and I said that's ridiculous.
Good
I go,
money,
the cab driver that doesn't speak English, that
Right.
gets lost going to the airport, he makes twice as much as the guy that's in front of the airplane, flying the airplane with 100 victims on the back. I'm like, thanks, but no. And that's when I
crazy.
started my
Yeah.
transition from where we're at into real estate. My wife has been in real estate since 2004. And so I jumped in. And I used all of the marketing skills and the management skills that I had learned at the rock quarry, and I started applying it to managing large transactions, and we tripled our business in the first year, and every year since that we've just continued to grow and explode. And and we're not begging for business. Business shows up at the door because of how we market ourselves and how we hold ourselves and how we genuinely come across to our clients that this isn't a used car lot, and it never has been.
Right. Yeah, tell me more about the marketing part. I'm dying to hear, man. They're kicking your door down. I'm in marketing as well, so let me hear about it. I always want to learn. Tell me more.
Well, I don't know that any of it's really new, or that I'm, really all that magical here. I'm just another guy who works. I work half days. That means 12-hour days, 7 days a week, half days.
Come on now.
Yeah.
That is magical.
Well, and I think that there's something to be said there too. Is first off, as agents, don't lie to ourselves. Don't say that we're picking up a real estate license and we're doing this while we're really working another job somewhere else, and we're really only putting in 2 or 3 hours into our business a day, and we're saying to ourselves and to our friends that we're really an agent and we're really in production, when we're really kind of faking it. If you're going to be in, then be in. Be all in. And if you're doing an 8-hour-a-day job somewhere else and you're trying to transition into the industry, then put in another 8 hours outside. Go work it. Make it a job. Make it what it is, because what you put in is what you're going to get out.
Right. I was speaking to someone about that, and there's so many part-time agents, right, who are okay with selling, and maybe they live in Beverly Hills or West Palm, or we could name all kinds of cities, but where the home, they might sell a $20 million home, and that's what they're there for. But I'll tell you, and this agent, I'm going to drop that name, but actually said that should be against regulations. I mean, and it's because they're not keeping up with the area, and they probably don't know what's going on. And somebody may decide to seek their guidance, their counsel, and not get the full picture. And I'm not going to create a debate about it, but I kind of started agreeing, and I was like, you know what? That's a valid point. It's like flight, right? How many hours do you need before you can fly? It's the same thing. You want the best person there. You want the best person showing you, and there probably should be something, whether it's in the C&E, whatever, where they have to have so much mentoring or on the job before they can even talk to someone. But that's so.
And that's where you're going to build the skills. That's where you're going to be able to, in my opinion, truly identify the opportunities for marketing in a great way, to swing it back to the marketing. But if you're not in the game, then don't coach. Don't be an armchair coach. If you're not going to be in the game, then don't get on the field or don't get on the court. Sit in the stands. But if you're going to play the game, then get out there, and to do it, you're going to have to get dirty, and you're going to have to get messy, and you're going to make mistakes, and you're going to screw stuff up. Lord knows I've screwed up more stuff than you can imagine. But the reality is, the faster that I mess it up, I learn from my mistake, and I re-spool again, is the faster I get to success and the financial results that I want. And so marketing's the same way. Look for the opportunities. And we've done that with, one of our newest things is, over the last 14 months, we've built just an incredible client appreciation event in multiple different ways, in 2 different venues. And I can go into what they specifically are, but literally, we have on a weekly event, literally every week we do an event, And we have 180 to 200 people that show up every week.
Wow.
Every week.
That's a lot of folks.
This is, and what did we do? It wasn't anything huge. It wasn't anything that anybody that's listening to this can't do themselves. Find something that you're passionate about.
Right.
Find something that you do anyway, and do it to the level that is just over the top, and just know that it's going to be great. So for example, my wife and I met social dancing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
We met social dancing 12 years ago. It was a great form of exercise. I always tease that that if I have a pretty lady in my arms in dance position, that I will work way harder for the pretty lady than I ever will for the treadmill or the elliptical at the gym.
Hold on, buddy. I'm writing that down. 1, 2, I'm putting it on your thumbnail for our podcast, because that is genius. I've been married 32 years.
Well, so, that's how we met. And so it's like, okay, well, that was something that we were passionate about. So when it came time, we said, okay, well, what if we want to do a client event, it needs to be something that's real, because people can smell through fake and smell through marketing easily. And it's like, I want it to be Brad, because my clients come to me because of me, and because of our team, and because of what we offer. That's why they come to us. They come to us because they genuinely know, like, and trust us.
Sure.
And it's like, great, that's awesome. So, well, what are we going to do with our client event? We need to do something that's genuinely us. So we looked at each other and we said, why don't we put on a weekly social dance? Oh, by the way, there's a ton of real estate agents that are in our market that are social dancers, but nobody's doing what we're doing. So we rented a venue, we hired a DJ, we hired a dance instructor, and we rented the space. And then we started using the marketing machine that we already had: emails, text message, social media messages, and started bringing in people. And we started from 9 people, Tim. In September of 2021, we started with 9 people. And last night we had our event. We had 180 to 200 people there. The week before, we had 220 people. Last week, we had 38 brand new people that had never come before. The week before that, we had 34. The week before that, we had 28. The week before that, we had 32 people that are coming.
That's great.
And we're just... And people are loving what we're doing, because, oh, by the way, we're offering it for free.
Wow. That's nice.
So we're renting the venue. We're bringing in all of these people. They're loving it. They're coming back. They're telling their friends about it. And they are genuinely excited. And of course, we're the sponsor. But it doesn't mean it has to be dance. It could be running. It could be target shooting. It could be, what are you passionate about? Could be kayaking. It could be, anything. You name it. What is your hobby, and what are you passionate about? And how can you bring your clients into that in a really genuine way and share it and bring your people out of the woodwork to come and actually get to know you as a real person, and not just as a postcard that shows up in their mailbox. Because if you're a postcard that shows up in the mailbox, hey, I got a stack full of mail marketing stuff that I could show you here. But the reality is, you have to be more than that. You deserve to be more than that. Your clients deserve for you to be more than that. You have to be you. So figure out who you are and then go be it. And people are going to show up. We grew the event by 2,100% in 14 months.
Wow. That's fantastic. Those are great numbers. Yeah. Wow. So now I'm sitting here going, okay, what do I like to do? What do I like to do? I'm going to start a scuba diving club. Well, but you're right. That's who I am. I might as well work. A lot of people say, I want to work with my friends. You know, I mean, I want to sell houses for my friends. I want my neighbors to be my friends. I want to sell their houses, help them find a house.
Yeah.
That's exactly what you're doing because you have a common ground, right?
Yeah. And everything's built on trust and common interest.
Right.
Fine. You know, all the things that I named aren't necessarily for you. Well, maybe it's exercise. It's based around exercise. It's walking. And you create a walking club, or you create a hiking club and you go on hikes and you research the hike and you say, we're all going to meet at this place. And then as the real estate agent, you're the tour guide. You're the tour guide. And you're getting people. And then of course, you know, what are we charging people? We're not charging them anything except for their contact information, Tim.
Right.
Why? And why their contact information? Well, I want their contact information. So if there's a change of, you know, details, well, guess what? I can reach out. But also at the same time, I have their contact information. So I can reach out and I can write them a thank you card and say, hey, it's the first time that you came. Thank you so much for coming. We genuinely appreciate you coming and being a part of what it is that we're doing. We're so happy to have you a part of it. Please invite other friends to come and join in on this. We are excited to see where this is growing to. Yeah,
nice stuff. I love it.
You know, and our other event, I told you I'd get into that real quick, and so I'll do that real fast. But our other event is I'm a massive patriot. I love my country.
Sure.
I bleed red, white, and blue. And sometimes that's not necessarily popular up here in Portland, Oregon, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But I bleed red, white, and blue.
That's why you bleed red, white, and blue, so everybody can have a choice, right?
Right, exactly. So everybody has a choice, and I tease, but that's part of, you know, that's part of our pitch, our next event, which is 4th of July. Right. We put on a huge 4th of July fireworks show and invite all kinds of people to come out and check it out. And we bring in a DJ and we bring in a dance floor and we have music and it's a potluck dessert. And we have 500 people a year that show up to our 4th of July fireworks show.
Nice.
Well, why did I decide to do that? Brad's a pyromaniac. Brad loves blowing stuff up.
Wow.
Well, what is this?
Come see Brad blow stuff up. Yeah.
Right. Oh, by the way, Tim, it's a tax write-off too, because now it's a client appreciation event. So I get to blow stuff up with my own money and write it off on my taxes and have a good time with 500 people that are probably going to buy or sell a house anyway in the next couple of years.
Hey, take that, IRS. I just blew stuff up and I'm not having to pay as much. Yeah, that's a combo there, right? That's the double knockout. Forget all those IRS agents that are coming to town.
I know there's 80,000 new ones, and my name's Brad Eaton. Do you want my address? Do you want my phone number? Yeah, but we're teasing. But it's real marketing and it's real stuff. But I'm being really real with all of my clients in how we're doing our events, and our numbers and our participation doesn't lie, and their loyalty is incredible. My big pitch at any one of these events, because I'm not a car salesman. I don't have the fast pitch, the slow pitch, the hard pitch, you know, the soft pitch, the ABCs of pitches. I don't do them. I learned a long time ago personally, and this is just Brad, right? You know, so this is just one of those gold nuggets that I threw out that I learned the hard way, is let your work be your example to your client. You don't need to pitch them. They're at your event. Last night over the microphone, it's one of the hardest things to do is to sell oneself over the microphone. And I do a 30-second ad for ourselves over the microphone. You know, hey, this event is free because, and it's not free. It's a costly event that we put on every single week. Right. But if you want to know what our marketing is going to look like on your property, then look around. There's 200 people in this room. We bring in the best dance instructors. We have the best DJ. We have the best music. Look around. You want to know what kind of marketing I'm going to do on your house? Look what I'm doing for client appreciation events on a weekly basis. And you should have no doubt the amount of money that I'm going to spend on you, my client. And oh, by the way, that client is the linchpin to the next 10 clients that you're going to work with.
Sure.
So you make a good impression, they're going to sell you to 10 people that you don't know. So hurry up and turn that 200 into 2,000.
You know what, Brad? You're not a realtor. You're an event in of yourself. I mean, it's not. Hey, who helped you find the house? Oh, it wasn't a person. It was an event. This guy is an event. Like, I'm going to Brad Town. I want to be in the Brad business, and that's really what it is, though, right? I mean, it's more than just, Brad's a great guy. He's trustworthy and honest, and we all can be that way. We should be that way. We're in the business of being that, right?
Yep.
So we shouldn't pat ourselves on the back in our billboard saying trustworthy, honest, and I'll get your house sold guaranteed.
Everybody says that.
Everybody says that, but when you're an event, in that's a different story. Something that people tangibly and physically and then mentally hang on to and say, this is somebody that I really enjoy being around, and he's going to give that same care to my home when it's time to sell and to the home that I'm going to buy. So I'm going to give them both. I get the psychology of it. So
right.
That's fantastic.
You've got to be more than just an agent, because there are plenty of them. They have their name badges, or they might be wearing a logo like I am or whatever, but are they more than the name badge? As a real estate agent, looking deep within the eyes of the camera, looking deep within, your eardrums as I'm vibrating as you're driving down the road, the reality is, are you more than just a name tag? You need to be more than that. You need to be an asset and a resource to everybody, even if you're a solo agent. We have a team, and we're growing that team out. But the reality is, are you more than just a name tag? Are you an abundance of resource, an abundance of marketing? Do you have the contacts and the people and the names and the industry providers? Are you more than just a solo agent? I tease, that when they think of you, they should think of a picture with you standing in front with 100 people behind you, because that's the size of their team. Whether they all have your logo on their shirt or not doesn't matter. But are they a framer? Are they a carpenter? Are they a siding person? Are they a roofer? Are they an HVAC person? Are they a plumber? Are they an electrician? All of those people, are they standing behind you? And if they're not standing behind you, I can guarantee you one thing: they're standing behind another agent that's doing a lot more business than you are.
Right. No, definitely. I couldn't agree more, and I love what you have to say. So let's, we've talked about how you market, which I think is amazing, and I think I'm going to move to Portland just so I can go to your events. Why not?
Sounds like a good idea. You're welcome.
Right. They say, like we have snowbirds, right? They come from New York, Chicago, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Maryland. They come down here, live half the year, go back and forth. I'm going to be bi-coastal. I'm going to go left to right, right to left, and so I can always be on a coast, just with a different climate, that's all. So tell me a little bit more. I could ask you a million questions now because you've opened a Pandora's box. I could talk about how you and your wife work together in the industry. I think that's fascinating. Tell me about, the long-term plan for Brad. What's the 1-3, and, we never really get out of the business, I would say. So I don't want to say end game or, retirement, but, what's the long-term plan for you?
Oh, that's
deep stuff.
That's a question I wasn't prepared to answer. But that's a great question, Tim. For us, we're different.
Yeah.
I know that I'm different. And I'm unashamed about it.
Yeah, sure.
I think that there's a lot of agents that this is what they do. I'm using the air quotes for those that are listening, right? I'm using the air quotes, but their identity is that they're a real estate agent.
Right.
That they're a real estate broker, that they're a real estate agent, and they do the average of 4 to 6 transactions a year.
Right.
And that's great. But you can be more than that.
Yeah.
And we're personal growth junkies.
Right.
So we are always in personal development. We're always coaching. We're always seeking guidance and mentorship to get to the next level. And I'll say that this is me personally, is real estate is an opportunity for me to learn and grow skills that's going to take me to the next level. And that isn't necessarily the next level in real estate. That's the next level of impact. And what does that look like? Yeah. And how do I impact and inspire people to really, do the things that they're passionate about, or help the people that they're really passionate about? Let's not lie to ourselves and say that we're really going to impact the world or the kingdom, or, whatever it is that you want to say, that we're going to, Mother Teresa's a great example, right? Mother Teresa did amazing things. Of course, there's haters out there for even Mother Teresa. Look it up on Google if you don't want, if you're not sure about me. Mother Teresa's terrible. You'll find plenty of websites. I can promise you that.
Exactly.
But almost universally, I would say everybody that's within a video shot or earshot of us is going to say, "Wow, okay." Overall, Mother Teresa is an amazing person that impacted the world in an incredible way.
Right.
How and why did Mother Teresa be able to do that? So let's step back for a second and do some critical thinking. Okay. Mother Teresa impacted the world in a tremendous way because Mother Teresa had other people that were behind her, that were financing the opportunities to institute the change that she envisioned. Somebody had to pay the bill. So if you want to live a legacy or leave a legacy on this world that is going to live beyond you and beyond your family and beyond your lifetime, what does that look like? Well, to build that legacy, somebody's got to pay for it, whether it's you or somebody else. And Michele and I have decided that our legacy is to impact people in the greatest way possible, which is to help them move beyond money. Because every broke people, all they think about is money, because they don't have any.
Right.
If you don't have any, that's all you think about. If you do have money, then the opportunities for your mind to grow to its highest potential, to your impact to be the highest potential. Our client appreciation events, we couldn't do them and impact people the way that we are without it being really markety or really salesy. If we didn't have our first personal finances in such a place where we could give of abundance and tithe towards impacting people, getting them, helping them build new friendships and bringing new people together and doing exercise and in a post-COVID world, helping them get back out into the world. Of course, you're in Florida, and you guys had a totally different experience that we had up here in the Northwest, because our political environment was very much different. Not bad or not good, just we're in sales, so we can't have an opinion. But the environment is completely different up here. And we have a lot of people that have a lot of emotional trauma because of how it was dealt, because they were stuck in isolation land for so long. And we're trying to get people to integrate back into a more normal society pre-COVID, and to help fix their mental health in that department, because they're soaked in fear. They watch too much of the TV.
That's sad.
And what does our impact look like? If we wanted to have an impact in that way and we didn't have the finances to take care of it, well, guess what? We couldn't do any of it. So you need to take care of your own house first and your own personal finances first, and set yourself up and set your business up to really impact people, to then ultimately go to building the legacy that you want to build. So in the next 5 years, I hope to be out of production real estate. Okay. And what does production real estate means? It means that we're only going to be taking on a dozen deals that we really want to, with a dozen clients that we really want to on a yearly basis. And outside of that, well, guess what? With the house paid off and no car payments and no student loan debt and no credit card payments and a huge emergency fund and a lot of savings and a lot of money going into different financial vehicles that are making money for us. You want to know how to build wealth. That's how you do it, because you build impact by money not being a barrier to entry in whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah, that's great stuff, man. That's deep.
So that's what we teach our clients. That's what we teach our clients how to do, because we're more than just a name tag. We teach our clients to do it because we're actually living it. We're debt free 100% right now, including our house.
Wow, that's fantastic.
You know, and we don't live in a, we don't live in $1 million estate, but our house is still, $600,000 house up here in the Pacific Northwest is totally paid for and in great condition. And it's like, okay, we're living that life. So you can't coach people to do something that you don't do.
Right. You got to live by example, right? You got to show people. Sometimes you got to show people the way, not just tell them.
Exactly. Because then it's fake.
Then it's fake. Right.
Yeah.
We're kind of winding down on time, Brad. And what I always do with all of my guests is I kind of want to give them, and you've given us so much to think about. I'm like, man, is there anything else this guy knows? I got to hear it. But the last minute or two, take us out. Tell us what's on your mind. Anything maybe we didn't cover, or man, if you want to tell me about your dog or your cat, that's fine too. But take us out here the last minute or two.
You have to know your why. Why are you doing what you're doing? I'm doing what I do because it allows me to impact and finance all the things that I want to do to help this world and make this world a different place. And I think if you don't know your why, or you're just doing real estate for a paycheck and you don't have a bigger purpose, I think that you're missing the boat. And I think then if you're not sure on your why, then your clients aren't really sure why they're using you. That's a good one. I should write that down. Tim, you should write that down for me.
No, I got it. It's mine now. Say it again.
I'll have to re-listen to the podcast again, but
I'll get it.
But if you don't, you're going to wander. And then your marketing's wandering and your purpose is wandering. And then your clients are wondering why do I use you? You need to know who you are, because oftentimes your clients aren't sure, and they're in a really stressful transitional period as they're getting ready to sell or getting ready to buy, or they're buying their first home, they're downsizing, they're upsizing. They need to know that you've got them, because you've thought about all the things that they've thought about, that you know what your purpose is, that you're 100% behind them, that you're their cheerleader, you're their coach, you're their therapist, you're their mentor, and you're their guide in this process. And if you set that up right, you will never, I'm getting closer to the camera, never have to sell yourself again, because your clients will do it for you, because they go, Brad's all in. I would never use anybody other than Brad, because, and then let them fill out the list.
Brad Eaton, you are the authority for sure.
Brad, I don't know about that, but
come on, man.
We're showing the success. I'm just another guy. I'm a husband, so it means I'm wrong until I'm told I'm right. I know these things, but I'm just out there and I'm just grinding it out, just like the rest of you are. So, let's just go make it happen. Figure out your why, know your purpose, get a plan, and let's go make it happen.
Brad, that sounds great. I look forward to talking to you again in the next 3, 6, 9 months, sharing some things. I love what you're doing. I'm all excited now. I'm like, well, yeah, I really am going to go start a club. I am going to go get a group of people. This sounds awesome. Thanks so much. Brad Eaton, eXp Realty, Portland, Oregon. Talk to you soon, Brad.
Thanks so much, Tim. It was an honor.
Thank you.